So, first question is about your name. You name yourself Infected Mushrooms. From where does that come from?
You know, when we started back in the 1996, 97, we were kind of a psychedelic group, you know, and we were looking for a name. Infected Mushroom kind of suited the project, and it was great at the time, and we stuck with it until today. So yeah, here we are.
Cool. So, you play gigs all over the world now. It's Europe, North, South America, big, India, and as well. So, how did the band and when did you get the breakthrough?
I think the biggest one was in second album, the first breakthrough with Classical Mushroom, and that we really started to perform in Europe and stuff. And then I think the biggest breakthrough, I want to say maybe it's the album Vicious Delicious that really took us really strongly in America and the rest of the world.
I read that you were classically trained musicians as children. So is that true?
Sorry. Let me answer that now. Yeah, both of us, you know, learned keyboards, piano when we were children, you know, sent by our parents to learn classical music, and then just diverted as any kid to other music. Both of us went to rock actually, and then started, you know, rock, punk, heavy metal, and then eventually arrived to electronic music through the scene in Israel. So yeah, this was kind of the progression that we went through.
Yeah. And does it help you to be classical trained with your music you make now?
I think it does. It does help us. I mean, we see it maybe differently than somebody that never learned any kind of music. I think it does help a lot.
Easier for us to combine new melodies, you know, and even when we listen to something, to bring it on really faster to our kind of music. So yeah, definitely helps us.
So, how did you get your production skills? So, you produce yourself as well. Did you learn with all this software for yourself?
Actually, Infected Mushroom was self-learned, you know. We album by album took it to a next level, you know. As we see our first album today sounding right, it's really bad for us, you know. But some people see it as a masterpiece, you know, because sound for people is not that important, you know. It's more important than music. But for us, we're kind of geeks on the, you know, electronic side, so we learned sound by ourselves and actually evolved year by year, you know. So
Still learning.
still learning. There's always sound to learn because there's always new stuff coming out. The production changes year by year, so it's an ongoing process. Yeah.
So, you moved from Israel to LA. So, what was the reason to do that? You got no opportunity anymore in Israel?
You know, Israel became a small country for us, you know, music-wise, and the next step was to going to one of the biggest markets. It's either the UK or LA. We chose LA because of the weather. It's kind of warm for people that lived in Israel all their lives, and yeah, it's a capital of music, industry, movies, computers, music, everything is there. So, and it's been treating us really nice, and we've been living there already 6 years, so it's a long time. So yeah, it's been a smart move for us.
So, as any tour with a live band, I think you got a drummer and a guitar player.
Well, the drummer and the guitar player are behind us now because they don't want to sit on our lap. Yeah, so in fact, the Mushroom is a full live band at the moment. Sometimes it's actually two guitarists and one drummer. It's a full kind of heavy metal, trance, psy-trance combined together to one show. It's a bit different from the two guys standing with machinery that we used to do before, and I think it's much more powerful as a live act, and you know, and it transcends to more people that even was not into electronic music or to trance music. So yeah, this is what we've been doing for the last 3 or 4 years.
And what's the reason to put up a better show with
I think people today, the majority of people, wants to see you live, you know. They don't buy CDs anymore, and if they download music, it's from the internet and stuff. So the only thing cultural is, or you know, to see a band is to go buy a ticket to see the show. So I think the most important thing for us today is our show, you know. I want people to enjoy the show and, you know, and keep coming and keep buying tickets, and this is our main thing today. So the show is the most important thing. I think all the rest, the music, the merch, the whatever, these are only, you know, like greeting cards of the band, you know, hey, this is what we do this year, but if you really want to see Infected Mushroom, you come see us live as any other band today on the planet. So we invest a lot on our life. Yeah.
So how do you find the musicians?
Auditions, basically. In Israel, it was kind of easy. There is the number one guitar player in Israel at this time that we said, let's try to call him, see if he wanna work with us, and he said yes. So it was pretty good for us, and then in the States we didn't know where like the really big ones are really big, and so we did auditions. So we found our drummer, Jerry. He's from Brazil originally, moved to America, and then we also have another guitar player, Tommy Cunningham, also did auditions. So auditioning, it's very easy. Yeah.
And what's important, is they are very good musicians, or is there
Not only that, you know, there's much more, you know, we live as a band on the road, you know, and we see how you get along. The music side, they're not that good musicians, don't let, you know, they're average plus maybe. Let's not go like massive, yeah, because I saw them both like over there in the back, that's bullshit. It's more than, you know, getting along on the road and, you know, being as one group on the road, and music aside, we spend most of our time together, so there's few stuff that you check on the band. Yeah.
So a few average questions. Do you have a band manager, or do you manage yourself?
Oh, we have a band manager, we have, like, you know, the whole shebang, you know, I call it, booking agents, Europe, States, management, in the tour manager usually. We have another guy called Safi, we call him the problem solver. He solves problems. Let's say I want a beer, he solves it. You know, it's not a tour manager, it's more of a problem solver. And yeah, so we have a full crew with us, yes.
So what do you think about music as a marketing instrument? For example, ringtones, probably for making money for musicians?
You know, people today look for sort of stuff to making money from music because CDs are not selling anymore. This is an old technology. So everybody moved to ringtones, commercials, games, movies, whatever, to self-maintain as a band or as a musician to live from it, you know. And the most important thing for everyone is the touring again, you know, and it's all comes back to the shows, and then you do all the rest. So we try to do everything. If it's ringtones, if somebody hears my music on the phone, I don't care, he still hears my music, and then he will eventually he say, oh, I like it, let's go see them live. So it makes the same point as a CD once before, or, you know, a record many years ago. The only problem with this, the quality of music has become really low, you know. When you download an MP3 or a ringtone, it sounds bad, let's be honest, you know. It's not a wave proper, and all the technology that we put into it, you don't hear, you know. You get like, oh, I like it, you know. So what the fuck for, you know? So all this producing shit doesn't mean shit anymore, you know. It means for us, we kind of love it. We go like, wow, the sound. But when it goes to a ringtone, 192 kilohertz in iTunes, it's shit anyway, you know. So, but this is the way music went to, and this is where we're going, and you cannot fight it, you know. You just do what you need to do, and yeah, that's how it is.
So do you enjoy the tour life, or are there any negative sides being on tour as well?
Usually it's fun, you know. We make it easy to ourselves. We can do more shows, but we take a break. We have just 3 shows in a row, and then we try to stop, you know, unless it's something really big and important. So we have breaks in the middle of the week. We make it good and easy for us, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, because the hard thing is for us, we as families, you know, to spend time around the family. If you know, if we were like bachelors and, you know, without family, maybe it was a different story. But for us, you know, we need to spend time at home and stuff. So we do the kind of weekend kind of story, you know, Thursday to Sunday, then go back home. If it's a big tour, we go for 1 month, but we don't really like it, you know, because we used to do the big tours and spend a lot of time out of the home. Today, we went into this kind of phase, this change of starting to do weekends and staying at home, and it's been fun, you know. It's great sometimes even to go out of your family routine and go on tour, and yeah, we have a good time.
What was the most beautiful moment you ever had on stage or on tour?
Most beautiful, there's many, you know. each year there's another one. There's a few, you know.
We perform in some crazy places.
Crazy places, and Ipanema Beach in 2000 on I don't know, it was 8, you know, the new year. It was for so many, like there was 500,000 people over there to see them all spread it on the beach. We did Love Parade, we did, you know, these big events, but sometimes even the small unique events are really cool, and there's many moments to the band, so yeah, hopefully more.
So I have answers only in the camera.
Yeah,
if it's possible.
sure.
So what was the first album or CD or tape you ever bought for yourself?
For me it was Dark Side of the Moon, first album.
Mine I don't remember.
What was the first live gig you ever visited? So
Wow, that's a good question. First live act I saw.
Metallica.
No, but I saw Israeli acts before.
Yeah,
As a
same,
big
yeah.
commercial act, I've seen Metallica first show in 1993 in Israel. That's the big kind of thing. But before I went to Israeli kind of, yeah.
I went to a great band called Natasha Friends, an Israeli band that we collaborated with, and for me it was like one of the best thing ever seen in this time, you know.
By the way, it's Friends of Natasha.
Natasha Friends, the Friends of Natasha. Never mind.
if you have to put infected mushrooms in a genre musically, what would it be?
Today I would call it rock trance, you know, because it's really the definition, you know, it's rock and trance together, you know. Used to be psy-trance, goa trance, this is definition by people, but if you come to see Infected Mushroom today, it's rock trance, exactly what it is.
Have you ever thought about another band name, or have you heard a band name from another band and thought, oh, this is great, this would be great for us?
Well, you know, to do a side project is always something that we thought about, but we never did because we don't have time. We work so hard on Infected Mushroom and stuff. And, you know, there's a lot of cool bands out there, you know, so, yeah, we like a lot of them. So.
Okay, last question. Act in the world, you go on stadium tour, everything is sold out, and you can choose your own support band. Who would that be? Doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter the genre, doesn't matter if they're dead or alive. Who would you choose as support band?
I would go with Pantera, even though the guitarist is dead. I would definitely go with this as a live kind of before us, yeah.
It's pretty, I have to agree. Even though I like also Depeche Mode a lot, so.
Also good begin.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Cool.
It's hard to have a way to get it.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Very much.